YouTube launches a new useful feature called corrections that helps you avoid refilming of videos that have errors in them. OpenSea NFT platform migrates to a new Web3 protocol to increase transaction efficiency and to reduce gas fees. Twitter releases two new features. One is product drops and the other is location spotlight, which could be helpful for churches. All this and much more coming up in this week's edition of the Connected Church News with me, Nachi Lazarus. Welcome. This is the show that brings you the top 5 digital, social and Web3 news you need to know for this week in just 5 minutes. Let's get started. YouTube has released a new useful feature called corrections to deal with videos that have errors in it. Have you ever had a situation where you upload a YouTube video and then after some time, after a little bit of engagement and comments and the video is doing so well, and you realize that there is an error in the video? For example, you misquoted a scripture, you said one Bible verse instead of another or something like that. And now you have to refilm and re-upload and all of that complications. YouTube corrections helps you deal with that by indicating at that particular point, there will be an indicator at the top of the video that shows there is an error in this spot. And people can click on it and you can, there will be a pop-up that says, at this point, this is the actual verse, but we have misspelled it or something like that, and then you can explain it to people. So that way you don't have to re-upload the entire video. Very helpful feature. Do pass it on to your video team. Meta made a significant announcement last week making VR environment more social. Meta announced that they are bringing the ability for you to invite friends into your Meta Quest VR environment. When you use a Meta Quest headset, the VR headset, and you put it on, the first thing you see is this environment called home. So far, it's just a place you start with and then go ahead and do other things. Now, Meta is saying you can invite friends who can come and hang out with you inside that location called home. It is almost like a news feed. That's like the main area where you interact with people. Right now, you interact with other people in news feed in a vertical scrolling environment. Now you will do the same interaction with your friends in an interactive VR virtual environment. So very interesting announcement, and it's a step towards what Mark Zuckerberg has been talking about, making virtual experiences more social. Twitter released two useful features last week. One is called Location Spotlight that lets you highlight your location of your ministry under your Twitter bio. So right below your bio, you can have a card that displays your location information, your operation hours, and so on. Because usually people come with a question like, when is the service or where is it located? So this feature could be especially useful for churches and location-based ministries. So do take a look. This is available only for professional accounts. So you might want to convert your Twitter account to a professional account, which can be done inside the app very easily. The second feature is called product drops that lets people get a reminder. Like if you're going to have a launch of a fundraiser or some kind of a product-based promotion for your nonprofit or ministry, you can let people set reminders so that once they click on remind me, they will be reminded by Twitter when the launch happens. Very useful. WhatsApp users can now safely migrate their WhatsApp data from an Android phone to an Apple iOS device. Earlier, the feature to go from an Apple to an Android device was released. We reported this right here in this news a while ago. Now they have released the reverse direction. Now this announcement is important because, as you know, as ministries, we may have to constantly change devices because your WhatsApp account may be handled by a volunteer or a staff member and so on, and you might want to constantly change devices. So this feature could be useful. The announcement came from the CEO Mark Zuckerberg on his Facebook post, where he said we are adding the ability to securely switch between phones and transfer your chat history, photos, videos and voice messages between Android and iPhone. Very useful. In our Web3 news this week, we have a significant announcement from OpenSea NFT platform that is going to migrate to a new Web3 protocol called Seaport. This migration to a new protocol is going to help OpenSea solve two big problems that they have. One is very high gas fees associated with the transactions. If you've tried to do any NFT transaction, you know the amount of fees you pay just to make that transaction happen. Apart from the purchase cost, there's going to be a big fees for the transaction. Now that is going to reduce significantly with this new move to a new protocol. In fact, the headline says launching Seaport saving the community millions in fees. So that's the kind of impact it's going to have. The second impact or second solution is improved efficiency. The current system is not very efficient in terms of transactions. So that is going to improve with OpenSea's migration to the new Seaport protocol. That's all I had for you this week. Thank you so much for joining me. DM me on Instagram if you have any questions, doubts, thoughts, feedback, whatever. I am at Nachi Lazarus on Instagram. You can DM me. You can also find all the source links and details related to this news bulletin in the description section wherever you're listening to me. And you can also find all these details in our news page, nachilazarus.com/news. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week with another set of news items. Until then, you stay connected and stay blessed. God bless you. Bye-bye.